Welcome to the Institute of Marine Engineering, Science and Technology Technical Meeting. My name is Nikhil and I'm the Honorary Secretary of the Institute's UAE Branch. Joining me from the IMarEST is Mr. Bilal Al-Habash, and Bilal is in charge of the IMarEST TV. So this presentation of today will be recorded and it is broadcast to 23,000 members, IMarEST members all over the world. Obviously, you've got to have a login and password. Right, that's a diesel engine, and the combustion within a diesel engine is as follows. Well, very briefly, very crudely, there's an air and fuel mixture which goes in that obviously combusts and leads to heat work and the production of exhaust gases. Basically, that's what happens, right? Mr. Farid, would you give me? Good. My guru has given me the tick for that. In the production of exhaust gases, there's nitrogen, which forms majority of the exhaust gases, up to 76%, as you can see. And likewise, the volume ppm is also the maximum amongst all the constituents of exhaust gas. Now, when we look at exhaust gas by itself, nitrogen is not a problem because natural air consists mostly of nitrogen. So by itself, it's okay. However, when it combines with oxygen, it produces nitrogen oxides or NOx, which really leads to respiratory problems for human beings, as well as it affects our vegetation. So this certainly has some effect on both humans as well as the crops that we grow. And accordingly, the shipping, the IMO and MARPOL in particular has taken action in terms of having limits on NOx emissions from engines and designating certain geographical areas as NOx emission control areas. Of course, these limits are in tiers. There are three IMO tiers, and the tiers are dependent on when the ship is built. So let's say tier 1 is for ships built on or after 1st of Jan 2000. Tier 2 is after 1st of Jan 2011. And there's a tier 3 also, which applies to ships built on or after 1 Jan 2016, which are operating in the emission control areas. Of course, an engine can be inherently very NOx efficient, but there are alternative means in which you can achieve these limits, and you can either have a selective catalytic reduction system or an exhaust gas recirculation system, which more or less achieves the same objective. So there is a bit of flexibility, believe it or not, that the IMO shows. Okay, so it's time to introduce our speaker for today is Magdolin Mikhail, and she's the Upstream and Design Manager for Cummins. Magdolin has a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering and master's of business administration. She has a total of 8 years experience, out of which 4 years with Cummins. Magdolin started with GTE, which is the Cummins dealer in Kuwait, in 2015 as an application engineer supporting power generation business. Prior to joining GTE, Magdolin worked as a regional technical support engineer for Mantrack Unatrack Group, which is the Caterpillar diesel in Alexandria, where she supported its territories in the United Kingdom, Russia, and 6 African countries for 3 years. Magdolin's background includes technical knowledge and experience across various engineering disciplines and power generation industry. Magdolin enjoys reading novels, swimming, jogging, and exploring new cultures. Well, welcome on board, Magdolin. Yeah. Thank you for being part of the IMarEST.
Is it working? Yeah. It's working.
I would, for the benefit of our navigator colleagues, I would sort of ask you to first start off with explaining what's a diesel engine. All yours.
Thank you, Nikhil. You know, I'd like always to introduce myself, but Nikhil did this for me. But apparently from my profile, I comes from power generation industry. So I didn't have the gut to sail like you in the water. I was always on the land. but this is, we are going to talk today about IMO Tier III, which is exactly equivalent to Tier IV in power generation industry, the treating for the exhaust regulation in power generation. So we are having a very interesting video to watch. It's actually from the power generation industry, not relating to the marine, but it's having the same concept. So you're going to understand how it's going, how we treat the exhaust to comply to the global regulation. Can we share this video, please? Yeah.
Cummins Power Generation brings you next-generation diesel generator sets that are certified as meeting today's EPA Tier 4 interim regulations and already meet the EPA's future Tier 4 final certification requirements. Cummins engineers have developed modular after-treatment systems that simultaneously curb emissions such as nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, unburned hydrocarbons, and particulate matter, and convert the emissions to environmentally friendly byproducts. A Tier 4 system combines a proven generator set with a Cummins exhaust after-treatment system that incorporates selective catalytic reduction technology. Depending on engine size and application requirements, this system may be augmented with a rapid response exhaust preheater and a diesel particulate filter. The entire after-treatment process is managed by a standalone control system which fully integrates with Cummins generator set controls. Here's how it works. In systems equipped with a preheater, exhaust gas is rapidly heated to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, beginning the NOx conversion process in as little as 9 minutes. A patent-pending self-cleaning injector system introduces commercially available ammonia-based diesel exhaust fluid into the exhaust stream. The DEF injection rate is determined by a closed-loop, real-time monitoring and control system, which measures NOx upstream and downstream of the SCR catalyst. Injection is accomplished without compressed air. When a diesel particulate filter is incorporated, the DEF exhaust stream mixture passes through the self-cleaning DPF, where particulate matter is reduced to required standards, providing 3,500 hours of runtime before maintenance is required. The DPF is regenerated by the exhaust heater, which oxidizes the captured particulate matter. The DEF exhaust stream mixture then passes over a vanadium-based catalyst, converting the residual pollutants into water, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide. If you're looking for emissions after-treatment systems for diesel generator sets, only Cummins has a comprehensive line of high-horsepower Tier 4 interim certified systems, available in power nodes from 680 to 2,750 kilowatts. Cummins generator sets are already certified as meeting EPA Tier 4 interim requirements and are even Tier 4 final ready, giving owners and specifiers total operational flexibility. For Tier 4 interim peace of mind, visit tier4answers.com or contact your local authorized Cummins distributor.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's say again that Tier 4, EPA Tier 4 is equivalent to IMO Tier III. So let's discuss further regarding that. Of course, this is the emission we get from the diesel exhaust: particulate molecules, NOx, sulfur, hydrocarbons, and carbon monoxide. The IMO, the global approach, is telling you that for any keel laying vessels from 2016 in the NOx emission control areas, which is the Caribbeans, should be complying to the IMO Tier III. While the global approach for the future ones, for any vessels that's operating in these areas, the Palladic Sea and the North Sea, after any vessel which is keel laying after 2021 should be complying to the same approach. This is a very interesting graph, which is telling you that it started for IMO Tier 1, which is the NOx. Particles was between 16 to 18%, from 16 to 18 gram per kilowatt hours. Then for the IMO Tier 2, it goes down to 14, but now it's really challenging. For IMO Tier 3, you have to comply between 2 to 4 grams per kilowatt hours, which is really challenging for any vessel manufacturer. You can see the graphs, how it's evolving. But of course, this is only for the NOx emission control areas only. Because earlier, most of the global approach was concentrating on the SOx, the sulfur oxides. But now we are more into the NOx. Here there is the regulations. It says that the IMO Tier III levels effective from 2016 for any vessel that's keel laying from 2016 in these particular areas should be complying to the IMO Tier III. But there are some conditions I have to take into consideration because this is not applicable for any vessel. It's only applicable for the Class C vessels. The vessels which is above 500 GT, which the length is more than 24 meters, which is sailing in this particular zones and the keel laying after 2016. So this are the conditions for applying or for complying to Tier III. And there's another interesting thing. If I'm having a vessel that's already operating and I'm going to do a retrofit project for it, for any engine that's above 130 kilowatts, I should do the same. This engine has to be compliant to IMO Tier III. And it's the same approach for the first conditions we have said. The engine has to be above 130 kilowatts. So the global approach for the future, that in the Pelagic Sea and the North Sea, this will be an emission control area. For any vessel that is built after 2021, it should be complying to the NOx regulation. So the emissions for European Union, they have a different approach. They have accepted it as an idea, and they are going to comply to it, but there isn't anything written or there isn't any official that they are going to comply to IMO Tier III. But they are accepting it as a concept. We are expecting that in future that everyone will try to cope this new regulations and to try to get its engine treated to be compliant to IMO Tier III. We have seen this video for the SCCR, the selective catalytic reduction, and we see this technology, how the urea is injected inside the exhaust pipe and how it's treated, and the gases got out into nitrogen and oxide and water, which is the normal friendly gases, as we say. This is some, pictures for how it goes. But we have seen it, quite very interesting in the video more than the photos, right? So this is the area. It's actually injected in the exhaust pipe. So Cummins IMO Tier III solution, Cummins is offering you a lot of solutions regarding that. Actually, in the power generation industry, for long years, that Cummins was already complying to Tier IV, which is equivalent to Tier III in the marine. And we are giving this solution since long time for Cummins Global in US. And of course, this is always available with the IACP class society, so it's already certified. All Cummins engine calibration, SCCR performance, of course. And there is new installation, and if you have a retrofit project, of course we can align with that as well. We have only one after treatment per engine. Even if you have two mufflers for the engine output, you can only collab it in one after treatment. This is all connected to a single or external control, as we have seen in the video. So there is Modbus interface for the signals to control the quantity of the injection of the urea, and there is sensors. If we see the P&ID for this engine, you see there are sensors for NOx before and after the treatment, and you can see how it goes and what is if I'm complying or not. So there is a lot of sensors to measure that. Of course, you have the various voltage available for this engine. And of course, it's going as per Cummins standard fuel and lube oil specifications. And it replaces the design to match the engine lifetime for the overhaul. So we have nothing will affect the engine itself. It's only the after treatment for the exhaust. And there's of course the maintenance interval for the engine, whether it is complying to the exhaust regulation or not. Cummins always support that for the aftermarket. There isn't no new diagnosed tools, nothing is new, it's just you are complying to it while giving you solutions for the exhaust. And the system is designed to run anytime while the engine is operating. So there isn't any restrictions for operating the engine and complying to the exhaust emissions. And one of my marine experts today told me a very interesting information, that even that in KSA, there isn't any regulations up till today regarding the emission control, but some of the vessel manufacturers or the end user, they started complying to IMO Tier III, which is something very interesting. People are trying to cope with the future and the global approach, even when you don't have local regulations. So the deep dosing system can be paused. So if you are a vessel that's operating in non-regulated area, and you are going to operate in US, for example, and you are going to operate there, you have to comply to IMO Tier III. But what if you are sailing away and you are away from this non-regulated area? You can just pause the system. You can stop and pause the system, and you will be complying to IMO Tier II. So it's flexible according to the region you are operating in. The SCCR system has a minimal impact on the back pressure consideration. I don't think that there is any back pressure consideration in marine, because it's only, I guess, the muffler installment is really small and you don't have fittings on long routes. So even this treatment for the exhaust, it doesn't affect the back pressure calculations for your engine or your muffler. You have flexible configuration for this after treatment solutions. So you have, Cummins give you 8 different configurations. It's world-class competitive DEF combustion. Actually, we are operating on 32 to 40% of the DEF. And the air assists dosing for optimal SCCR performance as well. After treatment display panel enable you for quick diagnose to easy understand the system performance. And of course, the panel you have, the separate control panel, it's very mandatory to measure all the NOx quantities before and after the treatment to make sure that you are complying to the global approach. As we said, it's only operating on 32 to 40% of the DEF. So it's perfect. It's only available and fully supported by global Cummins network. This is how it goes. You have the muffler pipe, and you have the vessel where you inject the urea, and you have the SCCR and the tailpipe for the muffler. This is how it looks. And this is an overview for it. The SCCR and the muffler's tubes and the marine strip. Thank you.
Okay, question one. When you say that all you have to do to change over to tier 2 from tier 3 is very simple, you say. That means you're indicating that you stop injecting urea. Is that what it is?
I'm not sure.
Disabling all the system, the urea, the sensors.
But it will be compliant to tier 2, yeah.
No, like say for example, you come out of the NICA
Okay.
and then you're outside NICA. So all I have to do is what? Just switch off. Which is the item that I switch off?
The control module in the after treatment system. It is monitoring the sensors and the injector of the urea. So all the entire system will be disabled. Okay, and
Except the particulate filter.
yes,
No, the particulate filter, of course, it's on in line, isn't it?
yes, all it is in line.
So that you can't bypass.
So that you're not bypassing. So the particulate matter is being filtered all through.
It will be like as any component in the exhaust system. The entire system back pressure will not be impacted, or the back pressure will not be increased.
No, not the back pressure. What I'm saying is, okay, let me rephrase it. See, now the entire system is on, the SCR is on.
Okay.
So all this is doing basically is the exhaust gas is coming in, then the urea is being injected, then there's a chemical reaction, everything is being changed to nitrogen and water, and then it's being exhausted. But while being exhausted, it's being filtered.
Yes,
So the particulate matters are being filtered.
the filters will not be disabled. Only the electrical component and the chemical component will be disabled only. The sensor, the injector, the other electrical, the control module will be disabled, but the hardware component will not be disabled, or it will be bypassed. It will be continuous in the system, and the exhaust will be flow through it.
So the exhaust gas will go through the same channel?
Yes, same channel.
Right. So that means now the job is being done. The particulate matter (PM) is being filtered.
Yes, it is fair.
So I think the problem is addressed already, isn't it? Do we need an SCR?
The NCR, what?
SCR, yeah.
Yes, SCR. SCR it is, you can consider it as a muffler, and during the exhaust passing from the SCR, the urea will be injected. So if the injector is not working or disabled, that will not impact the system performance.
Okay. So this means SCR is nowhere related to your particulate matter filtration, correct?
Yeah, so going back to DF dosing,
Right.
the exhaust gas is going through the same system. It's not like you need to take it off. It's just the DEF dosing. So exhaust gas will still go through the same system.
What's DEF?
DEF is the
Is the dosing
dosing.
This is the dosing. My name is Soumya. I'm the application. This is the DEF is basically the dosing fluid which mixed with the yeah. This is called diesel.
For the chemical reaction, yeah, for that, right?
This is a chemical agent, right?
Yeah, my question here is, do we need this to address the PM? That is my question.
Of course.
But the PM is on all through. In any case, whether you switch on SCR or no, the PM filtering is taking place.
No, you are just pausing the dosing system because DEF, which is the diesel exhaust fluid, is creating the reaction.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, you reduce the enemies.
So with the reaction, what are we doing? We are just converting the PM into liquid, that's water and nitrogen, that's what you're saying?
No, you are just dosing it into system to create the reaction.
Okay. Yeah, see.
Actually, what you're doing it by effluenting this particular liquid, okay, you're breaking the NOx basically, right, into the value. So once you're not coming out of the ICA 3 and coming into ICA 2 zone, you close the DEF liquid, okay, then you straight away passing only the exhaust as the hardware. That's right, right? Okay. So it's just a straight pipe now, and you keep passing up. Right, thank you.
My question is not technically oriented. It is money. Sometimes I think if you run the system throughout, you are working as a responsible citizen. Then switching on, switching off, how much does it really mean in money? Are we really saving it, or should we continue irrespective whether the losses be in this zone or that zone?
Running costs, I guess. It's actually running cost. You have the system, you have the assets, but it's running.
Now, how much
like
is the running cost? Will it hurt very much?
I don't think so. The most thing is the assets.
There are different types of.
Your question is the urea, right? How much
Yeah.
you save
There
on
are
the urea
different types of
consumption?
urea, okay? There are different types of urea and they have different costs.
Can you translate it into money? Like when you say
Basically, operating minutes.
How many dollars per day?
That's depend on the urea that you are using. And also depending on the consumption of the system.
And how long you are sailing in the sea without the urea. So I guess maybe if you are running for months and you are out of the area.
The short answer is we don't know the price of urea. We don't know.
This is the perfect answer.
Excuse me. I have a question. If you are using a scrubber unit for the SOx selection, how do you use the SCR unit in conjunction or along with the scrubber itself?
Scrubber is
Because the exhaust gases are going into the engine, and then you are passing it through the scrubber. How do you redirect, or firstly you are just passing it to the SCR unit? So how does it go with in conjunction with the
well, I'm not familiar.
scrubber unit?
I'm not familiar with the scrubber unit, but as my thinking, it should go after SCR to scrubber for SOx reduction.
And you are using the SCR unit for both main engine and the generator, because I think the Cummins is only producing the power generation. So we are actually concerned with the
We have the available system for both propulsion engines and auxiliaries.
both.
Yeah, for both.
Okay. Any health hazard using the ammonia or maybe environmental hazard, because you are using ammonia, and ammonia is not human friendly. So any problem with the leakages of the ammonia into the engine room?
Any precaution for the team?
Yeah, so it's not in that element, I think so, it's not there in the elementary form, so it's in a ammonium, I think it's in the DEF that we call about, so it's a part of that chemical unit that we are dosing or injecting, you know. And the chemical reaction is happening within that catalyst chamber, so there is no chance of the element of night,
Leakage.
Spilling, yeah.
So you have to store the activated ammonia on board, the urea on board, and how because you're consuming it.
No. You see, actually ammonia is being already chemically reacted, so that is not emitting out of the exhaust. That
You
is
just
one
feel
thing.
that you have a
That's not
separate
coming out.
Urea itself, you are injecting urea itself into the SCR
into the
unit.
catalyst.
So you have to store it somewhere, because you are
Yeah,
consuming
there should be
it.
a urea tank.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's required? Maintenance for the system.
Maintenance. So I think in 3-5 years time, the filter need to be changed. That's kind of thing. But these things all depends on the operation. How often you are going to emission controlled areas, how often you are running the system. It's same thing like the maintenance of a diesel engine. So it's like if you operate like 500 hours per year or 5,000 hours per year, you don't have the same between overhaul times.
When you said 3,500, you need to change, right?
No, I didn't say 3,000. I was giving an example of.
Yeah, it was
of
there
engine.
on the.
I use that. Where is that?
Approximately.
Well, I'm telling approximate, and I'm explaining
we
it
never
depends on
mentioned
how
that.
often you use it.
No, there was no mention of 3,500.
Maybe the video, but the video is not relating to the marine business. So yeah, that's what we've said.
Video
Yeah.
clipping, right?
No relation between
Yeah.
the parole and
Those are the
schedule
videos
of parole.
Yeah, it's basically 3-5 years time. which
So
is kind of
what
basic.
needs to be changed, the SCR unit compared
It's the filters.
Only the filter.
Filters and the basic, the cost is the urea with the SCR system. And then the maintenance cost is basically filters. If something,
What would be the installation cost?
Installation cost, it depends on the engine model. The engine model, we have one SCR system per engine. So if we talk about any specific model, then we may talk about the cost.
Basic one.
There's no basic one.
No, say 500 kilowatt engine.
I can't say that competitors here. Just drop me an email, I will tell you.
Right. I got two questions.
Yeah.
One being, can this system be transferred to a much larger vessel, say 100, 150 meters, like container vessels basically? Can it be done?
Well, of course, this system is a plug-and-play system. So if you have enough space, you can modify the system.
Right.
It's okay.
Okay. And the second question, first of all, great presentation on this particular system. But the second question I'm going to ask is regarding LNG, because when it comes to Tier 3, there's a lot of chatter in Europe, especially where container vessels are going to flip to LNG as a viable fuel source, so they can travel through ECS.
Yeah.
And they're saying scrubbers or systems like this are temporary solutions to a more permanent problem, because ECAs are going to grow. I just want to know what your thoughts are on LNG.
Well, my thoughts are, this is still ongoing regulations, and
Yep.
as suppliers and the ship owners, we are trying to comply with the regulations run by the societies and organizations. So as today, there are a couple of solutions, like 5 to 6 different solutions to reduce the NOx. The ones working now, which reach the level, the classes are scheme, the reduction level, is SCR and EGR. So you can compare these two. The third could be the LNG, but that's different technology, and as I know, there are very limited solutions today from the suppliers, but a lot of improvement is still going on. So many of areas for US, yes, it's 2016, and for northern area it's going to be 2021, but of course the rest of the world is also expected to be signed this new regulation. So it's still going on. As we say, those are the solutions today, but maybe some other solutions will be available tomorrow. So it's still going on.
The SCR seems to be the most popular one for the...
Well, it depends. Some suppliers, they prefer EGR because SCR is a system. There is no effect with the internal combustion of the engine. But with EGR, there is. And it's increasing the fuel consumption. There's some others, liquids coming out from there. So it's preference. Cummins, as we are working with SCR.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Has this been tested on site, and what is the result? The difference between non-SCR use exhaust and SCR use exhaust?
Well, basically, the requirement to reduce a certain level, which is required by class society. So there are two different kind of testings, which is Scheme A and Scheme B. So Cummins has a fully in-house certified solution for based on some models today, and some other models are still in improvement and planned for upcoming years for 2019, this year, and for 2020. So all our products are Scheme A certified, which is kind of engine, and the SCR system is put together on the test bench and tested in-house facility. So where you have the Scheme A product, you can deliver into any manufacturing facility. Then the Scheme B, where you don't have a chance, maybe the engine is and the SCR system after treatment is not fitting into your testing space, or for some other cases, what you do, you kind of prototype the after treatment system and give results to the society. And when it's come to the real, they come on board and do the same testing, and they would like to see the same results. That's the Scheme B testing.
So that means these units have been fitted on existing ships already?
Yeah. We have some projects we completed. There's one in my country in Turkey now going on with a shipyard, and the product you see in the photo during Maggie's presentation was supplied for that one.
So retrofitting is possible?
Retrofitting is possible. There are some projects we are working today. So there are some big advantages for some ship owners. So because this regulation is going to be complied in the future. So there are some ports globally, different parts of the world. There are encouraging taxes, encouraging fees where because you are driving a green solution, so you pay less, and there are some specific kind of contracts ship owners they can own just because of the benefit they're operating with a green product, or let's say IMO Tier III. They get the advantage of better contracts, or let's say they can be eliminated because of the tender requirements. So these are advantages, as Mr. mentioned. Even some areas where these regulations doesn't apply today, some ship owners thinking about future, they still invest on these kind of these technology.
So how long does it take for the retrofitting of layup time?
Well, honestly saying, we never did a retrofit project. All we supplied to today was new installations. But what we did, we worked on some opportunities. Customers, they would like to have an IMO Tier II solution today, but they're also asking for us to ensure that in future, for example, a couple of you, if they would like to convert it to IMO Tier III, is it possible? And we say, yeah. Then we just need to check the space and everything is available. So we are basically thinking as an IMO Tier III design, but supplied as Tier II. But for future possibilities, just a plug and play. And we didn't do a retrofit, so basically I really don't know. How long does it take to go retrofit? It depends on conditions, I don't know. The availability, which facility we're gonna use, which shipyards, is the product available in stock, Just talking about the application, it should take a couple of weeks, couple of weeks. Yeah, also about space, is it really easily applicable, or is it like challenging, And maybe we have 8 different configurations with the SCR system. Is one of them fitting into configuration, or do we need to work something on that tailored design? So it all depends.
So how do you decide the dosing amount that, okay, this particular ship or an engine, this much dosage has to be added to the system?
It's not about vessel, it's all about engine. So when we work on the SCR system for particular engine, it comes with that, because we are working on the exhaust, the outputs, and we have all the data, and we have the data of which of the treatment unit size and the equipment, the options we're gonna use. So that's where we figured that out. Yes.
First of all, I want to congratulate Cummins team. You have made a very difficult subject so easy.
Thank you, sir.
And all 5 of you have done your portion, and naturally the lady gets more attention. I pride myself as a highly qualified marine engineer. I'm not blowing my trumpet. There are very few people who have the steam certificate. I have the steam and the diesel. But I have now oriented myself more into the commercial. My question is, in the commercial operation, seeing is believing. Do you have any unit somewhere where we can go and have a look at the unit, talk to the people?
You're asking the references?
Yes, yes.
So there are some...
The references, not call it, you print it and show it to me. We go and want to talk to the people.
Well, if you ask me in this region, I don't think we have, but in over US, Canada, Norway, we have reference vessels. So if you want Cummins to send you one of these places,
you can go in.
Yeah, I can come in. Yeah. Just need approval from my manager. I hope you ask him question here, so we can go together.
So Thank you very much. It has been very, very beneficial, enjoyable, and rewarding, your lecture. And there are many enlightened people. They'll ask you more technical questions, but I concentrate mostly on the commercial side. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
One question. Most of the common engines which are showing here are shore-based for the power generation. So vis-a-vis, what kilowatts are we looking at?
Our range is starting from 160 kilowatts up to 3,200 kilowatts. So we are playing in a range of 240 horsepower to 4,200 horsepower. But as Cummins, we only manufacture high-speed engines, no medium or low speed.
Right. So what is your one engine will probably be the 3 generators on board a standard vessel, about 1100 kilowatt by and large. So
No, but it doesn't have to be Cummins.
no, I'm just talking about kilowatt. The kilowatt output I'm talking, because it's all about the output of the engine, isn't it? That's what is pretty according, as if the wattage is higher, then the gas production is more, and therefore the dosing and everything all comes from that. So it makes no difference what make of engine it is. It's basically the power of the engine which will matter, isn't it? In the generation of the exhaust gas.
Well, as Cummins, indeed, we have different business segments, and emissions are one of that. So, of course, we are playing in different segments like automotive, power gen, on a highway like truck and buses, mining, marine and oil and gas, rail and defense. So each of these segments have different emission regulations and demands, and Cummins is basically taking the lead in general, basically we are taking the lead in automotive market, like in power gen market, but it's also important the segmentation inside the company, and these regulations for IMO Tier III is going to be applicable after 2021, so still the improvement going on. And so for some models, as I mentioned, the product is available today, and for some we have in the test field. It's not happening overnight, it's not that easy, it's not happening, or everything is not happening in one day. So we are moving on that, and when it hits the whole the world, we will be ready with the next challenge with all product range.
So the next approval you have is for the marine units or only for the shore-based ones?
No, I'm talking about marine units.
Marine units.
Yeah.
So this whatever the installation without the movement of the ship, with all this stuff has been already tested. Whatever the design.
Yeah. What we are working on, as I explained, the testing schemes. We have scheme A, which is like in-house factory solution and testing. So we put basically who is suffering on scheme A is basically the low speed or medium speed engine suppliers, because the engine is huge, and the after treatment system sometimes it's not possible to go and test it in their facility. So and for some ship owners, they would like to meet the next challenge, and they do retrofit projects. So these cases we're more working for scheme B testing. But in our facility, we have chance with our engines to test engine and the after treatment system together.
Okay.
So we have scheme A testing.
Regardless of any movement of the ship, regardless of the angle, healing, and all of this stuff.
Yeah. Testing is done in-house. So if you say, do you have an approved, class society approved IMO Tier III product? Yes, we have.
One last question for me. You have three generators, for example. The 3 generators have different exhaust and one main engine exhaust. Do you have only one SCR unit, or do you have?
No. We have after treatment per engine. So tailored project can be done. I don't want to say it here in front of everyone, but tailored project can be done. But as today we say one after treatment per engine. But
so there will be 4, for example, if we have 3 generators,
yes.
One main engine, there will be
yes.
4 units.
4. Yeah. Well, that can be done. Depends on project. Send me the inquiry. I will help you.
Basically, this SCR is reducing your PM content. Am I right?
Particulars. Yeah.
Yeah, it's reducing the content. If you don't have the SCR, then like on the 2 grams per kilowatt hour, that's what you said, right?
2 to 4,
That's
yeah.
Tier 3, yeah. So that would increase. Then your PM filter, is that going to change?
It's for competitive operation.
No, I don't have the answer right now, but we can check.
Yeah, basically I want to know if the PM filter which is fitted, it is catering to both, right?
Yeah.
Tier 2 and Tier 3, say for example. So in Tier 3 zone, we are having 2 grams per kilowatt hour.
Yeah.
But in Tier 2, you can go up to 15, 16, and 12, and 10, and 9.
Yes.
So what happens to the filter then? At that point, maybe it tends to get choked much faster.
As I told you, this is this modification don't fit for competitive only.
I'm not talking about NOx, I'm talking about PM.
But SCR is the value you are saying.
Yeah, but the PM size is dropping or no? Content, the PM content is dropping to 2 grams per kilowatt hour. That's not.
Could we have a slide with the reactions, please?
Yeah, okay. So then if that is the case, then PM filter can be used separately on any engine then, without the SCR. Okay?
This one.
When is such that temperature? Okay, so no, okay, it's gone. But nitrogen is the one which is reacting and creating this PM. That is your main problem. See, that's exactly the point. Okay, anyway, I get that. It's basically, I think we need to understand the filtering process there, and the size of the filter, how it's going to change. Because the bottom line is, suppose I don't have an SCR, I just want to fit a PM filter. Can I do it? Because, okay, though you're not involved in this, the latest is, there's somebody who, Mr. Zimmerman, he came back and said, sulfuric acid is not the killer. PM is the killer. Right? But the scrubbers are not fitted with PM filters. Only sulfuric acid is being taken, sulfur is being taken off.
Because that is what
So
the regulation.
the killing continues. So this is, scrubber is useless. It's completely useless, scrubber, as of now. Open type, closed type.
Don't say that, I'm selling those things, you know.
Can I ask one question? The DEF liquid that you're selling, that's only going to be sold by, that's a Cummins product.
No, we are not selling it.
Oh, you're not selling it, so that means that's third party.
That's a still good business.
And these units can be installed on any brand of engine, basically.
Yes.
So it's not, it will be a project basis.
Since you have the space.
We have the space.
Talib.
Hello. Okay, I think this is all very good in the industrial and the power generation. Okay. In the marine, it is a little different. Okay. Basically, the bulk carriers and all who are 2011 built or which are tier 1 classified, they are going in for retrofit, but they can't do it because the cost of the engine, I don't want to name like that, so man, cost of the retrofit is same as the basically cost of a new engine because all components get changed. It is just not that. So what I am trying to say, the existing fleet, if you go to retrofit to tier 3 is not possible. I am putting it right. Now what we can do, these engines can be retrofit only for tugboats and other things, which are small engines, like in the range of 450 kilowatt and all that, and which has a time to do a small single modification, a pipeline fabrication and do it. But on the main bulk carriers, main tankers, it can't be done. I've done all the study. The cost of volume is almost like one engine, full new, or except the block, and the crankshaft can only be saved, nothing else. Okay? So this is a little bit of a study, as you rightly said. Everybody is working on this process of how it can be done. Like scrubber is a temporary solution now, we all know about it, correct?
I think there are special cases that you can get a privilege from class societies not to go for the new challenge, which is the IMO Tier III. But I think if there's someone from class that he can mention that on that process. I don't recall all of them, but there are some special cases where you don't need to comply with the IMO Tier III. Kind of, if you don't have enough space in your ship, we can retrofit it. So there are acceptable cases, and I think class societies, they listed those cases.
Exemptions they'll be giving.
Yeah, there are exemptions.
But this is only...
If the flag approved, basically it's going to flag now. Yeah, I know.
We have some people, Mustafa, we have some people from class over here, maybe they're best suited to answer. What would you say? Is there anybody volunteering?
No, the class, it's the flag. And we work
Same thing.
No, class is also working about this.
But replying to the sir, actually this is not applicable except for some kind of vessels, which is, so not any of the vessels. So the small ones is not applicable for this.
And the fact is not 500, it's 400.
Yeah, exactly. And the length as well, and the length of the vessel.
The length is okay, but the 500 is 400.
500, yes.
Gross tonnage.
And the engine itself, if you are having a small engine, you're not, so.
That's what I said, less than 400 is only like small tugboats and crew boat and all that.
They took it into
Most
consideration.
of the marine business is over the 500, 400, you know.
It's talking about trade ships, ocean going ships.
They don't have big engines.
No, there's a high-speed small engines, because your case is only for tugboats, power generation and small engines, you know. Okay.
This is their range. Cummins range is up to 4,200.
4,200
Yeah,
horsepower.
so small business. It's not small. You don't go for bulk carriers from Kenya. This is not their range.
No,
we have the
not
system
trade
for
ships.
OCVs and offshore vessels and also
Shore vessels, fishing trawlers.
Sir, I think your question in the start of the conference, sir, I think in the UAE they have said now, the Fujairah has applied the law, open loop scrubbers, the water's discharge is banned here now. I think that's what is come effective. Right, sir?
I think this gentleman has something to share with us. Sir?
We are discussing about the regional restrictions. Sorry. Because I'm not coming from the marine industry myself, so I'm trying to get the lights of my neighbors here. We're discussing about the regional restrictions. Why in some areas, like in the Northern America or Northern Europe, there are tight restrictions and not in the rest of the world? Is it the policies of the countries, or is there any other reasons?
No, I think everybody is going to sign this anyhow at the end. So IMO Tier II applies globally today. So IMO Tier III is going to be same also. There are some regional, like in China, in India, in some part of the globe. So in some countries, they have their own regulations on emissions, but anyhow, they need to comply with IMO, which is global.
And I'm sorry if I can ask a follow-up question. I mean, the feeling I'm getting is that this technology you're presenting today is still in some sort of early stages, because everybody, not just yourself, everybody in the world is struggling with these, to comply with these regulations, correct?
Yeah.
So who's implementing, not implementing, who's implying these regulations? Is it like some government entities, or is it some
IMO?
Flag state, basically flag state, individual flag states.
Yeah. So I think it's like you originally said, it's country driven. So the US have led emissions across all markets since day one. On highway, off highway, marine, they've led it. Okay, Africa is way behind. It's coming here. Europe are the next one. So it's very country led from an emissions perspective.
I think Salim had a question.
And they get delayed.
Can we have a mic, Salim? Can you?
I'm sorry I was late driving down from Abu Dhabi due to traffic accidents.
Thank you.
So my question to you is, Cummins, do they have engines for the alternate marine fuels like LNG and methanol?
For LNG, we don't have marine yet. We have in power gen, but not yet for marine. We have some models available for oil and gas market also,
but still not in mind.
I've seen Cummins in the trucks also, for use of LNG and methanol in US. So, you have any information on that?
On trucks, I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
LNG we have on automotive. We can get your details and say that
Please.
information. On marine, right now.
I'll be
we
very
don't.
much interested in particularly on the map.
Oh, okay, okay, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I think we had a very good question here, and my friend over here asked, why is it that some parts of the world, what's your right, are now under the spotlight, whereas the others aren't? Isn't that more or less what you were asking?
Yeah.
So anybody in the audience who might be able to answer that more specifically?
Can I?
Yes, please. Thank you, sir.
Well, my name is Sharan and I'm from Vatsala. I will try to answer this question. And I think you talked about this, Nikhil, in the beginning, that when you have NOx emissions, then it impacts your health. You know, this NOx and SOx is actually what we call gas emissions today, is consisting of NOx and SOx. And these are having impact locally.
Right.
So wherever you emit it, the impact is over there. So if you are emitting NOx in Norway, the impact will be on the people in Norway. Whereas when you are talking about CO2 and methane, then it's a global. So that is why the people over there are more conscious about these things and they are implying it. This is the reason.
We have a Norwegian in the house, would you agree? Paul?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, there you go.